Hi, everyone. I'm Rena Ninen. Thank you for joining us. President Donald Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, gave his first interview since being sentenced to 3 years in prison earlier this week. He says President Trump knew it was wrong to make hush money payments during the 2016 campaign. CBS News has confirmed that the president was in the room when Cohen and National Enquirer publisher David Pecker discussed the transactions in August 2015. Cohen pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including violating campaign finance laws for hush money payments made to 2 women. On Thursday, the president claimed that he never directed Cohen to break the law and that Cohen was a lawyer and was therefore supposed to know the law. But Cohen claims Trump knew the payments were wrong at the time.
He's saying very clearly that he never directed you to do anything wrong. Is that true?
I don't think there's anybody that believes that. First of all, nothing at the Trump Organization was ever done unless it was run through Mr. Trump. He directed me, as I said in my allocution, and I said as well in the plea, he directed me to make the payments. He directed me to become involved in these matters, including the one with McDougal, which was really between him and David Pecker, and then David Pecker's counsel. I just reviewed the documents in order to protect him. I gave loyalty to someone who truthfully does not deserve loyalty.
He was trying to hide what you were doing, correct?
Correct.
And he knew it was wrong?
Of course.
And he was doing that to help his election?
You have to remember at what point in time that this matter came about, 2 weeks or so before the election, post the Billy Bush comments. So yes, he was very concerned about how this would affect the election.
CBS News Washington correspondent Paula Reid is at the White House. Paula, I want to actually play for you what Cohen had to say just a short time ago.
You pleaded guilty to lying to Congress.
Yes.
So why should we believe you now?
Because the special counsel stated emphatically that the information that I gave to them was credible and helpful. There's a substantial amount of information that they possess that corroborates the fact that I am telling the truth.
Here's why he wants people to believe him. He's trying to make his case there. He says Mueller has information to corroborate his testimony. How damaging is that?
It could potentially be damaging for the president or anyone else if they conspired with Russia to help then candidate Trump's prospects in the election. But we really do have to put Cohen's claim there in context. Yes, the special counsel says that he was credible and he was helpful, but their colleagues at the Justice Department in Manhattan say that he was not fully forthcoming. They believe that he did not fully cooperate with them, that he withheld certain information. They sought substantial jail time. They did not say that he lied, but he is an admitted liar. He has pleaded guilty in this case to lying to banks and the government. So as a witness, Michael Cohen is very problematic, even if he was a helpful witness to the special counsel.
So CBS News sources can confirm that the president was actually in the room when Michael Cohen and National Enquirer publisher David Pecker discussed those hush money payments in 2015. What's the significance of that, Paula?
Well, now that we know the president was in the room during this discussion where Pecker offered to help suppress stories in an effort to help then candidate Trump in the election, that's further evidence that this was a coordinated effort to influence the outcome of the election. It makes it much more difficult for the president or Cohen or anyone else to argue that, for example, the payment that went to Karen McDougal, that wasn't part of an effort to get President Trump elected, that was merely a personal matter. So it is helpful for prosecutors if they want to prosecute someone, and not the president because he can't be indicted, but anyone else for possible campaign finance violations.
As you know, Paula, in the past, the president's always denied about knowing anything about the payments. Has the White House addressed why his answers have been so inconsistent?
No, and you're right. The story has really evolved or devolved, depending on how you look at it. At first, he said he had no knowledge of these payments. Then when it became clear he did have knowledge, he denied directing them. Now their story has changed to say, well, even if they happened and I directed them, they were personal. This was not campaign finance. But here we have both Michael Cohen and David Pecker confirming that this was done. This was a coordinated effort in an attempt to help him get elected. So why can't the president keep his story straight on this? else, I have absolutely no idea.
You know, Cohen was asked about whether the president's been telling the truth about issues related to Russia. I want to actually play for you that bite.
Special counsel did say that you were doing your best to tell the truth about everything related to their investigation, everything related to Russia. Do you think President Trump is telling the truth about that?
No.
No. So in what way do you think Cohen's cooperation could be problematic for the president when it comes particularly to that aspect of collusion?
Well, when you have your personal attorney saying that you have not been fully honest in the context of this investigation, that's a huge problem. Now, Cohen is a problematic witness. He has not always been honest. He's someone, if he was your star witness in a trial, you could probably easily impeach him or undercut his credibility. But he may be able to lead you to other sources of information, other witnesses, other documents, if, and this is a big if there was any conspiracy between Russian officials and the Trump campaign, if there was any money that exchanged hands in any way, if there was a conspiracy, Michael Cohen may know about that. But again, there are a lot of ifs there.
Speaking of ifs, you know, it was always our understanding, Paula, maybe you can explain this better, that the DOJ protocol says that a sitting president can't be indicted. Has the conversation changed in any way in light of this new information?
It's so interesting because when the special counsel started, sources told me that Special Counsel Robert Mueller believed he could potentially indict a sitting president, and they issued that as a threat to the president's attorneys. The problem is that then Deputy Attorney General, who was overseeing the investigation at that time, Rod Rosenstein, he did not believe that the Justice Department guidance was that you could indict a sitting president. So Rod Rosenstein had to call the special counsel and say, look, our understanding, I'm overseeing the Russia probe, I am telling you, our understanding, this Justice Department, we do not believe that we have the authority to indict a sitting president. It's not clear, but there are previous opinions and guidelines within the Justice Department. Rod Rosenstein believes that you cannot indict a sitting president. We have no reason to believe that Acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker feels any differently. So at this point, the understanding is that they do not believe, in the context of the Russia investigation, that they could indict President Trump. But this is not hard and fast. This is an interpretation of an opinion within the Justice Department. It has evolved, though, not necessarily recently, but it's interesting to watch how it's evolved over the course of this investigation. Robert Mueller started out thinking he could. Rod Rosenstein said, he can't.
Paula Reid, Friday in Washington. Thank you very much, Paula. Appreciate it.